All right, ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? My name is Denanu, and I'm here with my homie, Jolly.
What's up, y'all?
And in this video here, we're going to be talking about a follow-up to the Riot video that we posted earlier. And in this topic, we're going to be discussing rioting in general, looting, and talking about a couple articles that are, let's say, follow-ups or effects of the riots that took place and everything. So with this one here, did you read the article, Jolly?
No. I'm just getting into this, just like the audience. So you let me know what's going on.
Okay. Well, how I found about this is I had a relative actually post this, not the article per se, but I guess she was talking about, you know, the article and stuff like that. And I guess she linked it in the comments, and that's how I found it after searching it. But what this pretty much is this guy who runs this Indian restaurant in the picture there was one of the stores that was looted and broken into. And the message, or at least in what my relative posted on Facebook, was talking about how the owner was thanking people for trying to stop people from looting his business and destroying some things. And you know, he went into a whole comment and a whole paragraph talking about, oh, thank you. What's the word I'm looking for? He recognizes who they were, so he said that their sacrifices won't be forgotten, things like that. So I'm guessing maybe he's gonna be kicking out some discounts or something to them, you know, if they decide to come to the restaurant. But he was thanking those people, and I think in the article, it was his daughter who was actually writing the article, meaning the restaurant's daughter was writing the article, I guess in his place. And the owner was watching television and I think speaking with somebody else at the time, and she was writing all this stuff verbatim, you know, of what she was hearing based on, you know, her proximity to him. I guess he was in maybe the other side of the room or maybe in another room, and she overheard part of his conversation where I guess it, you know, she took down his thoughts about the whole situation. And he said, I forget what he said. It's like they probably have it in the article if we decide to scroll down, but it was along the lines of, no, let my store burn. You know, we need to recognize this situation for what it is, and such and such and such and such. Just let it go. We'll rebuild it. Don't worry about it. You know, it was like something like that.
So you're talking about the it was a Facebook article.
Yeah. Well, from where I originally first heard about it. You know, I didn't go looking for the information because I didn't know it was out there, obviously.
Yeah, so it's basically like a Facebook post from the restaurant's Facebook thing. I'm looking at it right now. Has 27,000 shares, and also this is a Indian restaurant in Minneapolis called Gandhi Mahal Restaurant. Has touched millions of hearts online, spreading across social media platforms with Twitter and Instagram. So it goes, hello everyone, thank you to everyone for checking in. Sadly, Gandhi Mahal has caught fire and has been damaged. We won't lose hope though. I am so grateful for our, and then there's something else there, neighbors who did their best to stand guard and protect Gandhi Mahal. Your efforts won't go unrecognized. Don't worry about us. We will rebuild and we will recover. This is Hafsa Mahal's daughter writing as I am sitting next to my dad watching the news. I hear him say on the phone, let my building burn. Justice needs to be served. Put those officers in jail. Gandhi Mahal may have felt the flames last night, but our fiery drive to help protect and stand with our community will never die. Peace be with everyone. Justice for George Floyd. #BLM. Dope. On the GoFundMe page set up to help the family recover from the loss, the Islams thanked people for their generous donations and added, if you donate here, we will also use the funds to make food to support others in our community during this challenging time. We are looking into a temporary kitchen so that we can continue to provide takeout food. Awesome. Okay, cool. Also in the picture, there's Guy Fieri. If you're listening to this in any other source, there's that Guy Fieri visited their restaurant. I guess way back when, or we don't know when that was from, but it was he visited. You know.
Yeah, so the guy must have had good food. essentially.
Must have. I'm not really. I don't really follow the Food Network like that because a lot of that stuff is paid advertisement. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like how much money will it cost for Guy Fieri to come and review my restaurant and stuff like that. But maybe this is wrong. At the same time, I don't think I've ever heard anyone who had their own business to say, "Let my shit burn."
Yeah.
Justice for that person.
That's what got me with the article and everything. Like it was passed around as like a feel good post saying, "Don't worry about us, we're gonna rebuild," and all of that kind of sort of stuff. And that's cool. But the first thought that popped in my head was like, would he be saying that if, let's say, his restaurant didn't get looted or didn't get broken into, you know? And to just say, "Let my stuff burn," I mean, that's a lot of money that you're gonna lose, you know, just having it burn and having it get tore up. So it's like,
man, I'm thinking like maybe this person really is like that, and he's a part of the community, and he thinks about it in that way.
That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah, I mean that would make it a feel good thing. But what I'm thinking is, mm-hmm. in a best case scenario, when you have a brick and mortar business and you are in the middle of a riot, you better hope that you have fire insurance, right? Mm-hmm. Because not that many people get different types of insurance. There's a theft, there's fire, there's breaking and entering insurance, but like that's more insurance that you have to pay for. Also, if you're at a restaurant coming off of quarantine where no one is allowed to be in your restaurant anyway, or people don't want to go in there because of quarantine, because there's that 6-foot rule and people are just afraid to go into places like that, because I don't know that many places, well, back then, that were making a lot of money, especially during the shutdown. So when you have the opportunity to recoup that in form of insurance, "Let my shit burn" would be the most logical thing to say.
Yeah.
You know, because I'd be opportunistic. I'd say the shit too.
Mm-hmm.
At that point, like if I know I'm losing money, man, I hope somebody set fire to my shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because
like,
you know he has fire insurance because it's a restaurant. You in there cooking, you know at least he has that. So it's like I'm hoping that's not the case, and people are spinning this to be as good news. I mean, that would be extremely shitty if that was the case, though. But
would it though? I mean,
I guess you can use this as evidence. Somebody can't be like, "Oh, well, you only did that for the insurance money." Be like, "Look, man, I ain't do it. I didn't want him to burn it, but you know, he could, you know."
Oh man, now you just put another idea in my head. What if he burned it? Like, no, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
We're not doing that. We're not saying that's what happened. We're not like, no, none of that. It's just it's just the idea of the different possibilities. It's a riot. It's the best time to be able to recoup money from a restaurant. Yeah,
and you have to look at both sides of it. You can't just look at what he says on the phone, because it's like people do that shady stuff all the time.
Yeah, and then there's also, fires that happen during riots and other buildings catch fire. Yep. It happens. So, but in saying that, whether that happened or not, what really is like my idea, or what really like is going on in my head right now, is to say "Let my fire burn," justice to this guy, arrest those cops.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest, man. I'm thinking about it, and as much as I love culture and everything like that, I still protect mine.
Yeah, of course.
I think about my family, especially if I have a restaurant or any kind of business where my family depends on it.
Yeah, that's your livelihood.
I think about that. So it's like, would I say the same thing? Would I say "Let my shit burn" if I didn't have insurance? You know what I mean? Yeah. Like if I had insurance, I'd be like, "Fuck it, man. Yeah, let it burn." I'm not gonna say why I said that, because I know I'm taken care of. I know I'm covered. I know my family's covered.
Yeah. But if you didn't, then it's like, that's just your livelihood. That's how your family gonna eat. So
yes. So I mean, during this time, I hate to say it, but like, here's the realest thing. Companies everywhere, big or small, takes advantage of any situation for publicity, for anything. There was a place over here during, I want to say it was during the hurricane last year, where everything got flooded in Texas. And they were giving away barbecue. And one, they're so expensive. They're so expensive, man. But they were giving it away. I didn't even know they were giving it away. Like, it was in a tent, and I would always see this giant line. I'm like, what is this line for? They never advertised it. It was word of mouth.
Okay.
I stepped out the car. I was like, yo, what's going on here? Yeah, we're giving away food. Everyone gets a plate. Oh, at least until we run out. Dope. Because during that time, like, there was no electricity, so no one had refrigeration. They were going to lose meat anyway, so why not just give it away to the community? And then after everything got built back up, they still getting business. People remember that. Yeah, you know,
goodwill.
But yeah, I see this though. Man, they got. Let's not even talk about it. Let's talk about everything else, everybody else. During these times, blah, 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 how many people out there making face masks, making money off of face masks? How many big companies are doing that? Printful and a bunch of other companies, well, maybe it may not be Printful, but other like print-on-demand services took face masks and started putting designs on because they knew they was about to make a killing. Every e-com business store out there on Facebook, on Google, they were talking about what's the next thing you can make money on. If you can get somebody to make face masks, then you can make money on it. It's like you can make money in troubling times too. And I'm like, oh my goodness, dude.
And it's like, and it's not even them too. It's I've seen people with making your own like sanitizer sites and stuff like that. People who sell the alcohol and the other products for that, and like the aloe and stuff for that, or let's say paper companies switching to toilet paper because everybody's wanting, need a toilet paper when everybody was going around buying it up. So yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So when I read this, maybe it's because I'm really, really cynical as I get older. I don't really think the best in people. Yeah. In any kind of circumstance, and I see this and I'm like, oh yeah, it feels good. What's the motive though?
Yeah. Well, it's not that we don't feel or see the good in people, because I think we do that just fine. It's just one of those things where it's like we don't take it at face value. Like show, don't tell. I have to see somebody doing good. I'm not just going to believe something that he's saying in the moment because it could be exploited. The same thing goes for the articles on the news sites that do all the articles anyway.
Now, in saying that, because in the last video I talked about how rioting is okay. I'm all okay with like destruction of property as long as it's property that doesn't affect your community. Yeah. And what I mean by that is apartment complexes, places where people live.
Yeah, that ain't doing them.
You burn that down, you're burning someone else's livelihood. You're talking about baby pictures, like birth certificates, things like things that people need to stay, or not stay in America, but like just live, everyday life. Yeah, you need these things, and burning those things based on an idea that you have of this is going to be good for the person that died. Cool. But what about the people's lives that you just ruined by burning that apartment? Yeah, that doesn't.
That doesn't have anything to do with the situation. That's not gonna improve the situation. It's not. You're not expressing your anger out towards the cops or the city hall or to wherever. You're just destroying somebody else's house at that point.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, all right, what about the elderly lady that's like 80-something years old? She lives off of her pension, or not pension, Social Security, and she has no other home. Are you gonna put her up? No, you're not. So you just ruined multiple lives just based off of an idea of one person that died and how you want to get justice for them. I'm not saying what the cop did was right. I ain't saying none of that shit at all. No. I'm not saying don't riot. I'm just saying
be selective.
You can pick and choose. Yeah, pick and choose what you're trying to destroy. Now, when they went after like the police building, when they went after all their cars, yes, go ahead, cool. That's the enemy, but not your own community, not the people in your community. Yeah. That's what I was talking about. It's like those are the places that you want to protect.
Yeah, you want to protect
fuck up Walmart, fuck up like Target, all that shit. Cool. They're already these are big companies that's coming into your community that's taking business away from your local businesses anyway. They gonna be okay, right? Like you said, they're gonna be okay. They got insurance, all that stuff. But damn, like, it doesn't give you the right to go around and say, let me go fuck some shit up just to fuck some shit up.
Yeah. And honestly, I think a lot of people are mad and upset about the whole situation, and I get it. I mean, as black males, we get it more than anybody. But
hell yeah.
But
hell,
it's you destroying people's homes and businesses. I mean, again, that's just destroying your own communities where you got to live at. So, I mean, if anything, like you said, destroy cop cars, destroy the police station. That's stuff that the city has to spend millions and millions of dollars on to actively replace. Now, there's going to be coming to a point where somebody whoever's paying that money is going to be like, look, why are we paying millions of dollars every time it riots? Let's solve the problem so we have no more riots. Eventually, it's going to get that, like that. If you just destroy the apartment complexes or people's homes and businesses, that's not affecting the community as far as like the cops and city hall and the mayor and all of that. Yeah, as a whole, I guess it makes your city look bad, but they don't care about that.
Yeah, they ain't got to pay for that.
Exactly. So it's, I don't know. It's just express yourself in the right way. That's what I guess we're trying to say.
Yeah. Riot, fuck up some shit. Just be selective with what you fucking up. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah. Don't hurt people. Don't, because people get crazy when they get that mob mentality in their head. I've never, as somebody, as smart as I am, I've never gotten into that. I've never even understood it. But it's a real thing, and you can see it in the crowd and stuff, and videos and stuff. People just go crazy, and I don't know. Maybe that's a human nature thing where we're just animals in a different way. So I don't know.
I mean, all right, I can see where it would fit in, because when you got and you think like, all right, if a mob thinks about protection, and like this is an enemy, when they see multiple other members of that group jump in to help, then if they feel confident enough
to do it themselves.
When they jump in, it's a protection thing, and like
gang
strength
mentality.
is in numbers.
Gang mentality. That's exactly what that is.
Strength in numbers. It's like, okay, we can do this, and everyone can be able to walk away because we have each other's backs.
Yeah.
I've seen it in animals. I've seen it in people too. It's like that's what happens when one or two or three gets confident enough to do it. That raises the morale and confidence of everybody else around them. I was watching this video. Like when you say that, man, I was watching this video of this cop during the riot.
Nobody wants to be the first person to do something. So as soon as somebody does it,
he was such an idiot, dude. Such an idiot. You got this line of policemen. They're in the back. They're like 30 feet away from this dude. They're posted up where they're supposed to be. Why is he the only one out in this crowd trying to detain one person?
Yeah.
There's a few hundred people out there. And he was in a group of it, man. Yeah. It was too many people to count on the screen. Why are you trying to detain this one person in all of this, these protests and everything like that? Why did you think he was gonna be safe? So he tried to detain this dude, and this dude was struggling. They moved away. They came back into the crowd, and the crowd had enough of it. One dude ran up, grabbed the dude that he was trying to detain. Another dude grabbed the police officer, and they was tussling. Man,
sparked it off.
Bro, that crowd got on his ass so bad, man. One dude pieced him, boom, 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 in the face like 4 times. Damn. I mean, like was hitting his shit. And then one guy in the crowd came out. Don't matter what race he was. He was white. He ran up, grabbed the cop, and pulled the cop away from everybody. And now I'm not a person that's like, oh, beat his ass. I'm like, yeah, cool, great. Somebody had the sense to be able to try to separate this, like before it got worse.
Yeah, they done mobbed him and killed him.
Yeah. So he pulled him away, and while dude pulled him away, the cop is like struggling with him like he's an enemy. It's like, yo, this dude just saved your ass. You know what I mean? And then when they got like further back, like when he pulled him away, you can see the row of policemen that were still there that did not help their brother.
Yeah, because they want to de-escalate the situation, not escalate. Yeah, they can, you know, if he went out there and did that, what he should have did was just stay it in place. That's why they stay in place with the lines with the shields up, because if people riot and they send the police in full force, it's just going to be two groups of people fighting each other. You know, it's going to be like a mini street war, essentially. You know,
man. Here's up there. I don't even know if the cop had a handgun on him, because to me that probably would have been like the best case scenario for that person to pull a gun or pepper spray or something. Yeah. It's like you just got mobbed, but at the same time it's like, why are you messing with people out there? Like, why are you trying to detain one person in the crowd? Like,
that's
like you're safe enough to do that.
No,
it's just like stupid.
He should have had the foresight to be like, I don't know what the guy did, but just like, let me just stand in place and not do anything. You know, mimic being a Buckingham Palace soldier. and just not move and just sit there in one spot, you know.
I'm just saying, man. don't run up, man. It's not worth it. But anyway, so here's LeVar Burton's Twitter. Okay. This is kind of what sparked this idea out for me about the whole riot and looting issue. So if you scroll down, okay. You know, I've always been a LeVar Burton fan. Like Star Trek, Joe to LaForge. You had to remind me of the Kunta Kinte thing. Like I didn't remember him on Roots for some reason, even though like that was before my time. So
where am I scrolling?
This is towards the top.
Okay.
So he goes, it's May 29th. My focus is the underlying cause. I'm sick and tired of black people being held to such a different standard by white people. Enough already. Check your privilege for a moment and examine the narrative you've even fed that paints people of color as enemies of the state. And this is the one I saw. So the Rory Gordon guy is it's on the back. There you go. Trying to justify rioting and looting is not helping things. These people that are having their property stolen or destroyed didn't cause these problems, and nothing justifies this behavior. I can see where the person's coming from, in a way.
Yeah.
But again, that's what I was talking about. Be selective of what you're destroying. And then what Mr. Burton says is, when a sports team wins or loses a championship and people gather in large numbers and light shit on fire, these actions are somehow categorized differently. You want to focus on the destruction of property, go right ahead. You do you. I understand where he's coming from too. I think like the Philadelphia Eagles, when they won the championship, like there was a giant riot in the city. And they destroyed shit just like, and they won.
Yeah, I mean it's one of those things like that happens all the time over there in England with those football games and all that stuff. So
yeah. See, I can see both sides of this. For me, again, don't destroy your own community, because that's the livelihood of other members.
Yeah,
they don't have to. You don't necessarily have to die to lose your life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't have to lose your life to actually lose value, like what you value in your life. Yeah. People can take that shit away from you really easily.
Especially in these times when people can't work. You take away their livelihood of their restaurant. Like if that guy, let's say if that restaurant guy didn't have insurance, then he has, I mean, I don't know if he has multiple restaurants, but if that was like his only restaurant, that's his income right there. So it's just dumb.
Yeah. And then after I saw that text, it's, don't fuck with me today, people. Today is not the day. I love that. Like,
where you see that one?
It's at the top.
Oh, the very top?
Yeah.
Oh, this one here.
I love that, man. It's like that black father. Like, I would be gentle. I'm usually gentle, but you know, I ain't no teddy bear, Jack. You know what I mean? I'm not feeling it. I love that.
Yeah.
And then overall, this happened. What he posted or what he pinned was last month. Remember who you are. Remember why you're here, and behave accordingly.
Yeah,
I love it's.
Yeah,
that's a great rule to live by.
It's a powerful message.
Yeah, it is. So in saying that, looting and rioting, does looting make rioting more effective or less effective? And does it get your message across effective or less effective?
In my opinion, I mean, looting, per se, just that exclusively, I would say no. I mean, at that point, I would think you're losing the message of what you're trying to say. Because now people are going to focus on the theft and what's getting tore up, not why or what caused the issue to begin with. Not why you're upset. But that's just in my opinion. I mean, if they were looting and tearing up, let's say, City Hall or something different, then yeah, the message is still there, because you're going to say, oh yeah, they're destroying City Hall. Well, why are they destroying City Hall? Not, nobody's asking the question, well, why are they destroying this person's Indian restaurant? Nobody's asking that. It's just, one of those things where it just, people are angry. And honestly, what I think it is just people not being shitty people, because I'm pretty sure that tons of people that are rioting, they're not bad people. They're caught up in the mentality of anger and emotions. And I'm pretty sure if the police are just, I showed my dad that video, the knee video, early today. Ruined his day too.
Okay.
Because we actually found.
What did he say?
We found a longer video, one that was like 4 or 5 minutes, 6 minutes long, showing after they took the guy away and all of that stuff. And that ruined his day too. He's 70 something years old. He was a part of that whole. The Malcolm side of things. Yeah. Not the Martin Luther King side of things.
I'm about to say, at 70, he was here for the change.
Yeah, and
he was here during all that time.
Yeah, and not in addition to being just here when it happened, but he was a part of said change. I think my dad actually met Malcolm X at one point. Because he was into all of the militant side of things back in the day. So,
all right,
it's just. And that kind of messed him up, just like any black man would see that. And it's like, so if that's just one incident, who knows how long the police have been doing shady stuff in their town like that? The people there, it may be understandable because the people there may see all of it. Whereas us outside, we're only seeing what the news is putting out and what's being leaked on social media. This may be 10% of the problem. Essentially. So I'm not, saying that is looting justified or not. It's just, I don't think it's going to get your message across, just to answer your question. I think it's okay to do it, but looting specifically, I'm going to use this as a chance to break into Target and steal a fucking TV. That's just wrong. That don't got shit to do with the message. That don't got nothing to do with what you believe in or what, your stance towards the police is. That's just you trying to steal yourself a big screen TV. And that's stealing, just like if that was stealing if there wasn't a riot. So
rioting, a violent disturbance of the peace by a crowd.
I mean,
so I guess if you want to be literal, you can have a riot without looting. For me, is it more effective, less effective? I don't know. I can't say for sure, but if you look at history, it's been pretty damn effective.
Well, I would say rioting probably is not effective. It's revolt. The idea of revolting is, that's what comes across. Rioting is, you got to fight the establishment. That's a revolt, so to speak.
Yeah. And what's a good way to causing intense disgust or disgust? Well, that's revolting. That's the definitions. I'm looking at it as one side revolting against an establishment, essentially, like a revolution, essentially. To rise up in a rebellion against some person or group of authority, to attempt to overthrow the leader of a country or its government after years of blah blah blah. Okay, yeah. So
let's say if people if instead of rioting, I guess rioting, but let's say if people stormed into City Hall and they took the building for like 4 hours and say, look, we need things to change, we need to do this, we need to do that.
Yeah. What is that?
That's not looting though.
No. But like we're talking about rioting and looting.
Yeah.
Does it go hand in hand? Does it not? I kind of feel that it does in certain aspects.
I think it goes in hand because people are gonna do it, but I don't think you need to do that to get your point across or to fully express, to start the idea of change. I don't think you have to have it. As long as you have, you can tell your message an appropriate way. Because if you look at us back in the day, Martin Luther King, they didn't riot. They knew none of that shit. They was in a complete organized fashion with a lot of the marches and stuff like that. And
they rioted after he was shot.
Oh yeah. I'm not saying, but what I'm saying is the message gets across a whole lot better. It just depends on how you explain your message. Look at let's say Gandhi, same difference. He didn't do nothing besides organize a bunch of people and starved himself, and that got his point across. People saw what he was doing to himself, and that started a movement. A movement is a hell of a lot bigger than a riot. That's what you want. You want that one guy to either start a movement or an organization, and then wrap up your belief in that. Because if you push the religion angle, that you got somebody for life, essentially. Not to throw religion under the bus, but that's a part of that too. And I think that gets your message across, what you're trying to explain to other people to instigate change. That carries a whole lot more than just saying, hey, let's tear this shit up.
Bro, man, I'm looking at it right now. I had to look this up. Man. Right. Like just riots in general. So I typed in riots of history. And we got, man, there is at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's at least more than 30 riots. Like 30 is the least from the 16th century. That's 44 BC. That's like Julius Caesar times, all the way to now in 2020. We're talking about everything from BC all the way through the 20s, the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. Yeah. And I think the times where it's been the fewest riots, 2018 did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 riots. That's it. 8.
Only 8.
Only 8 in 2018. 2011, holy crap. 2010, damn. All right, so I'm looking right now, and it's like from and now we're just going into the hundreds. 1970s, more than 20. 1950s is about 25. 1930s, 1920s, like the 20th century, from 1903 to 1909, there was a riot every year. 4 times on the 1905.
Well, they had a lot of if that was California, I think, wasn't that during the time of that big California earthquake that happened in like the early 19th century?
No, 1904. Well, wait on. 1905 was Bloody Sunday.
Damn, that's what they called it.
Yeah, St. Petersburg and Russia, and these are just riots everywhere. Washington riots, Atlanta race riot, Brown Dog riot. I don't even know what that is. That's in the United Kingdom. But anyway, like, this is just throughout history. There have always been riots, and there's always been either loss of innocent life or loss of property damage, and these things have caused change. There have been a few quiet riots. That let me storm this place and take it over, and you're gonna listen to me. Cool, we listened. Is that it? Yes. Great. Bye. Have a good day.
Yeah, but is that because is the change because of the riot, or is it because of just the people having having had enough of whatever their grievances is?
Well, when you go into some of these, and I can't go into all of them because there's so many. Think about it. So if you have, what was that one of the biggest riots? The French one, when they took over and killed the king and the queen. I fucking hate history like that. Like, I can't remember any of that stuff in history.
Yeah, the only thing I remember of French is the French Revolution.
Maybe that's what it was. I remember they killed the king and the queen, and there was a lot of rioting during that time. Now with that, they don't really they didn't really care. The patriarchy didn't care about if you destroyed your own shit.
Yeah.
They cared about if they were getting money in their taxes. They didn't give a damn.
Yeah.
Like, people were poor. Back then, they didn't have anything. Now, in a society where we put a dollar value on everything, even our lives, where your life insurance dictates how much money your family will get, like dictates how much your life is worth.
Yeah.
When you get ran over by somebody, you don't have life insurance, but the lawyer settles an account on your behalf, and let's say cops shoot somebody, they get sued. How much money are they gonna give out? Probably $1 million, maybe.
Yeah, they'll settle for whatever they can get, or
they settle for as least they can give,
or drag it out in court until you don't got no money, and then you gotta stop trying to sue them anyway.
That is what your life is worth.
Yep.
So in a time where we have worldly possessions that increases the value of our lives, or what we see in that, I think looting makes more sense now than it ever has. Back then, you destroying stuff because maybe somebody missed a fucking Molotov and it caught fire or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, the streets is on. You burning somebody's car and it just jumped to a building. That can happen. But when you got someone that's like, let me destroy this particular building just because I'm in my feelings right now. Yeah. And that this is going to help the cause. Let me go do this. Like, at that point, now you're ruining someone else's life. Yeah. At that point, no, looting is not justified. It's not. Yeah. Rioting is. Yeah. But looting is not.
Yeah, looting, yeah.
All these riots,
I mean,
their stuff we're looting in it. You can't discount that, right? Yeah. But the act of going out to
specifically steal shit. Yeah. That's fucking wrong. Like, you're just fucking wrong. Yeah. I mean, if anything, loot pens and loot shit from City Hall and all the government buildings. Steal everything in there. Make them pay to put that shit back.
Yeah. I'll be that motherfucker that goes in there and steals everybody's name tags off of their fucking desks. Like,
steal the fucking, steal the state flag from the, from the government buildings and shit.
You know what I mean? Oh, and then
burn that shit. I mean, if you want, it's,
yeah, I'm gonna say it, but I had to think about it.
That's how how you make your statement.
That is how you make your statement.
We're not willing to stand for this.
That makes a more powerful statement than saying, "Let me go burn this restaurant."
Yeah, let me go get this TV from Walmart because I have an excuse that nobody gonna find out.
Hey, guys. City Hall has TVs too.
TVs, monitors,
computers, expensive stuff. Let me go do that. It's like, yeah, you can get all that stuff there in those places. Do it, take it, steal it, burn it, break it, whatever.
Yeah, that makes more sense because then the city itself has to pay for that shit, and actually, everybody's gonna look at that dollar amount and be like, man, we got to pay like $10-20 million to fix this shit. Let's make sure this doesn't happen again. Use that as an excuse to fix, or at least try to fix the problems. I don't even think they can fix it because, like we was talking about in the previous video, unless they go in and, let's say, gut the police department, fire off everybody, and then hire all new people that aren't racist or fucked up in the head, and what's the likelihood of that happening? Never.
Honestly, it's a,
they can't
man,
do it.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, they can't do it. It's one of those things where they can't get rid of everybody because then who's going to police?
They can if they wanted to. Like, they really could. Like, there's not a shortage of people who don't want to be police officers. But when you got a police officer that has 17 fucking citations on their thing, for incidences with the public, that says something. When you got Walmart saying we got to let you go after 3 incidences with a customer, you know what I mean? It's like
every job has their rules. I'm sure police departments has rules. Like, that's something, and maybe we can talk about that in a future video. Is why don't not police officers, but state police stations and stuff like that want to change their rules and stuff to make shit like this not happen as much? Because it seems like every time somebody wants to talk about changing the police station or putting better evaluations, like nobody does that shit. It's like a lot of people say what they should do, but it's like nobody applies the said change. I mean, outside, I think the biggest thing I can remember in recent years is the whole body cam thing in certain states. You know, like we was talking about yesterday off the camera. And it's like, why don't police stations want to institute things that make things, or at least try to make things better? I'm not saying like I don't know if it would make the situation better, but why don't they try to instigate things to try to make things better? Like it's, I mean, I can say the same thing about tons of systems that we have in this country, like with the healthcare system. Like, oh yeah, a lot of that shit's fucked up. Like, did you know like that with eyeglasses? You know how like if you go and buy, you know, eyeglasses to see, there's like 3 or 4 companies that make them, right? Did you know they're all owned by the same fucking company?
Yep, Luxottica. And
they set the fucking prices for that shit.
Yep.
And people, if you don't know that, companies are not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to technically form a monopoly to set your own prices and stuff like that. But
that's the thing, is like if you got the opportunity to buy somebody out, then you can make whatever prices you want.
Exactly.
That's why there's like 4 big companies no matter what. You got Disney is not one of them, and then you have like AT&T. You know, not AT&T because like they're owned by somebody now. Yeah. Then you got Comcast, and then like every big
conglomerate.
Like every big category has those 4 big ones, and in food there's like Tyson and somebody else, and they can make whatever prices they want. Comcast is one, and then you have, what's on the other side, like Verizon or something like that.
Yeah, that's probably their main competition.
Like that's why you have all those like, oh, I can't get that over here because it's mapped out that way. Yeah. You know, they can't cross those lines. Yeah. And they're not going to compete with each other in prices either because they know that they are the only ones that can give internet there. That's why Google Fiber isn't really a thing, you know, because legally they can't give out affordable internet because they're not allowed to.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Like I used to work for Verizon. They map out those states and districts. It's just like a political map where you have red states and blue states and, you know, independent stuff. It's the same way with the cable companies. Like up in Pennsylvania, you know, like above me, Comcast is big. They have all the counties and the districts and stuff. So if, let's say, Verizon wants to move in, normally when they set up, let's say Fios in your neighborhood, just to get into, you know, cable for a second to explain what we're talking about, they have to do neighborhoods at a time. They can't just set up service at your house. That's it. You know, they can't do that. They have to wire the neighborhood with the service and then hook your house into their service. So if Comcast has a deal with that neighborhood to say, no, we're not going to let you in here for various reasons, then Verizon can't come in there unless the people in that county vote on through politics to get bills and stuff passed to allow Verizon to come in there. And a lot of times Comcast greases palms, and just like with any, you know, political organization, money changes hands and all that shit happens, and they don't get the chance to do that. So they can't get Google Fiber everywhere. Half of the people in the Midwest can't get Comcast and Verizon. They have to get satellite, you know, internet or whatever, you know, whatever they got in their area. And a lot of times it's shit, but
yeah. But that's a whole other topic for like another thing. Yeah. So looting, rioting, to me, they go hand in hand. Again, you just got to be careful with what you're doing. Yeah. And I commend a lot of people for protecting their community and making sure that doesn't happen.
Yeah. I hope nobody was seriously hurt doing that, because I know if, let's say, if that happened over here in my house, or let's say over there where you are in Texas, and somebody tried to destroy like our shit or our house, people would, you know, we'd be out there probably with guns defending our shit. So I'm hoping nobody tried to do that with their businesses or houses or whatever and got seriously hurt because of that, on both sides. The person doing the riot, you know, the looting and the rioting, and the people who own the property.
This thing though, there was an article of these guys that were protecting this local business with some AR-15s, and it was white and black. They were out there with guns, and they didn't shoot anybody, but they were standing outside.
Yeah, you have to make the presence known. Yeah.
Yeah, the place did get broken into, but after they arrived, nobody got shot. Everybody went their separate ways, and nobody went back to that store.
Yeah,
that store was as safe could be. And that's what the job of policemen are supposed to be. But like when you got your own citizens out there doing it,
too many.
Hey, they doing a better job than what the actual people that's supposed to be doing it are doing.
Yeah.
So in that aspect, great, fantastic. They weren't protecting Walmart and Target and all the other motherfuckers. Like, cool, don't protect them, but protect yours. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And maybe just to go off on another quick tangent here before we end the video, but maybe that could be something that could be in the future. Maybe businesses and stuff might, you know how like you have the military and then you have private military contractors. Yeah. Maybe businesses, maybe that might be a new business where like businesses have to do their own private security to prevent stuff instead of relying on the police. But then that's a slippery slope too. But you know,
it is, because once you like have a paycheck behind it, then it becomes about the money and it becomes about the power that you're getting. Just like the policemen, like most policemen that are doing this dirt shit are getting a paycheck and they're getting this ability to say, I'm a little bit above the law. Because what happens when a police, when you see a cop car turn on his lights at a red light just to go through and then turn it back off, and he's not even speeding anywhere, he's just driving casually. Cool, so you don't want to wait like the rest of us. You're above the law then, right? Okay. And that's what really happens when you have those situations where you do have policemen who, I mean not policemen, but like security who think that we have the power to do something because I have. It's the same. Absolute power corrupts absolutely, or whatever that saying is. It's that same thing. You put a gun in somebody's hand, they think they strong. They think they could take on the world. They think they can kill anybody. Same difference. But when you have law-abiding citizens out there that wants to protect their community and just keep their community safe without shooting anybody, without killing anybody, without any prejudice, they're out there for everyone, not just themselves. That's when you have the best case scenario. That's when you have somebody out there with the best of intentions and they are not stupid and afraid like everybody else. They're out there to protect and not to shoot. Protect and serve, what the cops should be doing. But exactly, they're out there to protect and serve. Exactly.
But in that kind of situation, I mean, if there's riots and stuff, I can't expect cops to protect everybody because they're overwhelmed just like anybody else. So it's not even expected.
Same.
But it is what it is. But anyways, fellas, that's just our thoughts on the whole situation and a bunch of follow-up stuff. So sorry to ramble on for about 47 minutes here, but you know, it is.
Also, sorry to name drop LeVar Burton, but like I've always been a big fan, and then I saw this, I was like, hell yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I mean, I think half of our generation is probably fans. But it is what it is. But all right, fellas, if you want us to talk about anything specific or any other social related topic or pretty much any topic in general, just let us know down in the comments below, and also let us know how you feel about the whole situation and what's your thoughts on looting and rioting and the whole I forget what the police officer's name was, you know, about the whole situation, and just, you know, let us know what you think, and you know, maybe we can have a discussion in the comments below. All right, my name is Danu, and this is my homie Jolly. And Jolly, before we end the video here, what's your channel links and everything, man?
Jolly Mage. Yeah, you can still find me right there, but I'm changing it to Jolly D. It's just a gaming channel, and I have a few things coming up. But if you go to Dananu's, aka the man with the black privilege, go to his actual main channel, you'll see me on the side. You can find me there.
All right, cool. All right, fellas, we hope you guys have a wonderful evening. Peace out.